Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll be sewing the men's button down shirt. In my previous video, we drafted the pattern for this shirt. The link to that video will be in the description. So if you'd like to see how this shirt was sewn, then keep watching. So guys, I've cut out my pieces. This is the sleeve. The length of my sleeve is 9 inches plus ½ inch seam allowance. At the hem of the sleeve, I'll be turning it with this black strip. I have here my collar stand. At this point, I didn't notice that the collar was not here. Then I have my pocket, the back yoke, the back pattern, and the front pattern. This black strip will be on one side of the shirt and on the side where we add the buttons. I'll start by attaching this black strip on the side of the shirt where we'll add the buttons. I've interfaced the strip. I've also interfaced the other panel of the shirt where we'll do the buttonholes. I'll go ahead and run the stitches. I have attached the strip. Mind you, this black strip is a button extension on one side of the panel. The width measured 3 inches and the length is the length of the shirt. I'll quickly give it a good press before I top stitch on it, and I'll do the same on the other panel. Now that the two panels has been sewn, I'll go ahead and attach my pocket. I have pressed down the seam allowance on all sides of the pocket. I'd cut out the pocket without the thought of the black strip. The total width of the black strip is 2.5 inches with seam allowance. So unfold after sewing is 0.75 inch. I've added a lightweight interfacing on it, and I have ironed in the seam allowance on the front side where I'll be top stitching. So I'll go ahead and prepare the pocket. I measured down 0.75 inch on the pocket and attached the strip with the right side to the wrong side of the pocket so that when I trim off the excess and top stitch, it will equate to the original height of our pocket. The pocket is ready and I've marked the point where it will be attached on the shirt. I'll go ahead and attach it. For the placement of the pocket, I redid it because it was a little high here. So from your armhole level on your pattern, just go up by 1 inch or 1.25 inch and place your pocket. The pocket has been attached. I will keep this aside and we'll work on the back panel. The back panel has the main body and the back yoke. My back yoke has a lining, so I have 2 pieces of that here. You can as well cut yours without a lining. I'll go ahead and attach them to the body of the back panel. I held them in place with pins first to make sure they are properly aligned. I will go ahead and run a straight stitch. This is what yours should look like. The lining on the back yoke hides the joining on the wrong side of the shirt. I'll go ahead and stitch close the dart. You remember on our pattern we added darts to this shirt. So if you haven't tried darts on a men's shirt, I think it's time to give it a try. The back shirt is ready. We'll go ahead and attach the front panel to the back, starting first at the shoulders. I have attached this side off camera and this is the clean finish you will have. We're going to do the other side together. I'm going to attach first with the lining of the back yoke, so I have my wrong sides facing each other and my right side facing up. Once that is done, I will then attach the main back yoke on the same seam line that I just ran in a way that the joining will be hidden inside. So I'll take the back yoke and fold it over to the front panel so that the right sides of both sides will be facing each other, and I'll run a straight stitch on the same seam line where I joined with the lining of the back yoke. I have pinned it in place with pins, and I'll go ahead and attach it with a straight stitch. Our front and back panels has been successfully attached. I'd already shown what it looks like earlier, so we'll move on to the sleeves. The length of my sleeve is 9 inches plus half-inch seam allowance, totaling 9.5 inches. The width of my strip is 2 inches, and I've added a lightweight interfacing on it. I've also ironed in the seam allowance I'll be top stitching on the right side of the sleeve. I'll go ahead and prepare my sleeves. My strips has been attached, and this is what my sleeve looks like. So I'm just reconfirming the length of my sleeve, and on this side of the sleeve I'm going to trim it down for the front side of the sleeve, and we'll go ahead and attach the sleeves. Before I attach these sleeves, I'll go ahead and top stitch on the back yoke. For the sleeves, I'll be attaching it from the 1.5 inch raise we did on our pattern, if you can remember. So I'll quickly do this and pin my sleeves in place. So guys, this is the notch on the 1.5 inch raise, and I'll be aligning the center front of my sleeve to this point. I'll pin it in place and I'll attach it with a straight stitch. I have attached the sleeves and overlock raw edges. I also top stitched the seam allowance on the sleeves to match up the top stitch on the back yoke. I will go ahead and stitch close the side seams. So guys, our shirt is gradually coming together. I've stitched close the side seams and overlock raw edges. I'll go ahead and hem the bottom of our shirt. Because of the curve at the hem of the shirt, I have pinned it in place to maintain my curve, and I'll go ahead and run my stitches. So guys, this is our shirt all hemmed, and I'm giving it a good press. At this point guys, this shirt is almost ready. The only thing remaining is the colors, which is what we'll be working on next. So guys, at the time of sewing this collar, I didn't know my camera wasn't recording. I have two pieces of this collar, the main collar and the lining. The main collar is interfaced, So what I did was to join both, trim down seam allowance and gave it a good press. So now I'll go ahead and pin in place the collar stand. I've interfaced the black strip and I've also pressed in the seam allowance that will be top stitched on the right side of the collar. I'll go ahead and attach this with a straight stitch, trim down the seam allowance and give it a good press. Our collar is ready. I'll go on and pin it to the shirt and attach it with a straight stitch. Once that is done, I'll go in and top stitch all around the collar. So guys, this shirt is as good as ready. The only thing remaining is to do the buttonholes and add the buttons and we are done. I like to mark my buttons after my shirt is done so that I'll know how to space the buttons and maintain a minimum distance of 4 to 5 inches from the last button to the hem of the shirt. I will be illustrating how to do this on the pattern. From the neckline, I usually go down 1.75 inches or 2 inches. I don't go down more than this, but for this illustration, I'm using 1.75 inches. The width of my button extension is 1 inch, so I'm going to mark half of that on that 1.75 inch point. So this point is going to be the point where I'll sew in my button. Then to mark the buttonhole, you measure the width of your button. I'm using a button slightly less than half an inch, but not 0.25 inch. So on that point of the button, I'm going to place 0.25 inch on both sides for easy passage of the button, since my button is slightly less than half an inch. So for my next button, I'm going to go down 3.25 inches from my first button. So according to how you want your button space, that is what you're going to mark next. So you continue like this with the button placement and buttonholes to where you want your button to stop. For me, I make sure I have a minimum distance of 4 to 5 inches from my last button to the hem of my shirt. I'll go ahead and mark my buttons and my buttonholes and I'll show you guys what mine look like. So guys, I have marked my buttons and buttonholes according to what I got from my neckline to the hem of my shirt. I came down at 2 inches for my first button and the subsequent ones I spaced at 3.75 inches. This is why I like to place my buttons after my shirt has been sewn. So the distance from my last button to the hem of my shirt is 5.25 inches. On the buttonhole side, I divided the width of my button and placed this measurement on the button point on both sides. I'll quickly finish off this off camera and I'll show you guys the final result. So guys, this is what our shirt looks like. Everything came out perfect except for the pockets. I redid the pockets and I brought it down a little lower. Apart from that, my client was very happy with his shirt. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to like, share, comment, leave all your questions in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in my next one. A bientôt!